What's up, y'all? My name is Toya. This is my first YouTube video, and it is crazy how much I've been going through just to start this video. I literally have been prepping for the last couple of hours, and I'm just like, you know what? This is too much. I'm worried about my hair, my lighting, my background. That's just too much. So anyhow, the reason I created this channel is to help myself as well as other people that may battle depression and it's something that I've struggled with for the majority of my life. I mean, ever since I can remember, at least since I was like maybe 7, 8 years old. Just remember being sad all the time, feeling like I didn't fit in, just always feeling down and out and not really living a carefree life like most children do. And of course, as I grew up, got older, it was like situational depression over relationships, over finances, just different things, been to a lot of different counselors, a lot of therapy sessions, was prescribed medicine, didn't do that for too long, but I tried it for a little bit and I didn't like it. Um, Eventually I got into church. I've always been into church, but I went to a specific church and the message there was very liberating and freeing, and I really felt like it helped me to start overcoming depression. But it's been quite a journey. It's a journey that I'm still on, and I really wanted to be able to not only share my experiences, but also maybe help the next person that could be going through it. And a lot of times people feel like, if somebody I know is depressed, I would be able to tell, I would know, and that's not necessarily true. Depression is not always what you see on the outside. You're not always able to look at somebody and be like, oh, they're depressed. They look down and out. They look like something's wrong. You know, People that are depressed, they function much like alcoholics. Like, you have functioning alcoholics that can still go to work every day, still function in everyday life, but come home every night and drink, wake up every morning and drink. And depression is like the same way. You can still go through life, you can still smile, you can still work, you can still hang with your friends, but you can still feel that overwhelming sadness. You still feel that void. You still feel that dark cloud, and of course, some cases are more severe than others. And I've been on both extremes of the spectrum. I've been on the side of wanting to commit suicide, and I've been on the side of, just going through life looking like everybody else on the outside, but just feeling that pull on the inside of me. So lately it's flared back up because I felt like I've really managed it well for the last at least maybe 10 plus years, but lately, it seemed to have flared back up. And you know, it was very challenging for me because, once you overcome something, you feel like you're done with it, but to be faced with it again, it's really difficult. So I just felt like, this would be a great channel for me to actually express these things and actually, you know, try to relate to other people that may be dealing with the same thing, see what other insight, other people may have, as well as provide insight of my own. So anyhow, what I've come to realize with depression, you really have to be proactive about it. You cannot just allow it to happen. You cannot allow those negative thoughts to continue to build in your mind and keep dwelling on that type of thing, because it's only going to make it worse. So it's like when depressing thoughts come about, you really have to have something to stand on, something that keeps you strong. For me, I read different books. I listen to different people, inspirational, spiritual, motivational speakers. I try to get in front of it before it really takes effect. But what will happen if I don't do that, then those negative thoughts, those negative feelings will just take over and get to a place where it's so heavy on me, I'm not able to push past it. It's just like a weight on me that I'm not able to get off. So depression is really, really a serious thing. I feel like a lot of people shy away from mental health issues. They think you deal with mental health, you're crazy, and that's just not true. People that experience depression are regular people. We have the same desires, the same goals, the same things going on in our lives as other people do. but we just have a difficult time managing our emotions and managing, those negative thoughts that invade our mind constantly. So I know I'm not speaking to everybody's situation. I'm just speaking briefly about my situation and what I go through. But it's really, really been a struggle, and you really have to have a strong support system around you. For me, I do have a husband. I do have 3 children. I have a lot of friends and family, so that does help me. But even sometimes, even having all that, I can still fall into that dark place if I'm not careful. So, for one, you have to identify your triggers. If you know it's something that sets you off, something that sends you to that space, you have to do whatever you can do to avoid that. That's first and foremost. Secondly, you have to have a game plan. So, in the event you do find yourself in a state of depression or headed that route, you have to be like, hey, when I start feeling like this, I'm going to do this. So for example, with me, as soon as I start feeling that way, start feeling those negative thoughts coming on, I'm like, all right, I need to read this book. I need to read this book that's going to speak life into me, going to speak positivity into me, going to speak encouragement into me, or I'm going to listen to this message. And when I say message, I mean like somebody that like speaks. Like, for me, I like to listen to Joel Osteen, Joyce Meyer, some of my local pastors, and people that will really give you a good word that will lift you up and help you to push forward. um, Also, trying to really get to the core issue of the depression, like where is it stemming from, like what's actually causing it. For some of us it's childhood things. For some of us it may be a bad financial situation, a bad relationship. But I think just identifying the cause of it will help you work towards a solution. So like I said, this is my journey. I'm working on a lot of things. I'm doing a lot of introspection, a lot of self-improvement, and I really, really just had to overcome this first hurdle, which was my fear of even posting a video to begin with. So I just wanted to at least do my brief introduction of why I created this channel, some of the things I'll be talking about, and I just really wanted to get this off the ground. And if you are listening and if you are going through something, just know that greater is coming. Just know you're not by yourself. A lot of people deal with depression, and just know that things do get better. Things do get better. They don't last always. A lot of seasons are temporary. I guess all seasons are temporary. You go through it for a little while, but there's usually a silver lining at the end of it. It's usually a light at the end of the tunnel. And I speak from experience. I'm not trying to just use cliches and say things that I have no knowledge of. If you can fight through and press through and just hold on, things will get better. Things will improve. Your situation will turn around. So anyhow, that's all I have for today. I thank you for listening, and I hope that you will ride with me on this journey.